Shabbat Shalom, family. Kaya, Arlene Foster, and everybody else. Do a sound check. Okay. What about black on black crime? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Y'all all right? All right, let's get into it. They don't need to play and playing around. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Yeah, let me get on into it. But all right, this stuff got to be addressed. Shabbat Shalom, Shalom, Eliyahu and Carol Brooks. This stuff got to be addressed because it dehumanizes us. Oh, they're just criminals. And it's okay the officers shoot him in the back while he's running away. It's okay to choke out a mental illness black man in the subway with his back turned to an army so-called Marine. It's okay. But let's get into it. Now, y'all bear with me. I don't know how to go, but here we go. All right? Let me do it like this. Now, let me do it this way. How many of y'all remember this right here? How many of y'all remember this? Can y'all hear me? Let me see. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, y'all can hear. All right.
The fourth challenge is to take back our streets from crime, gangs, and drugs. And we have actually been making progress on this count as a nation because of what local law enforcement officials are doing, because of what citizens and neighborhood patrols are doing. We're making some progress. Much of it is related to the initiative called community policing, because we have finally gotten more police officers on the street. That was one of the goals that the president had when he pushed the crime bill that was passed in 1994. He promised 100,000 police. We're moving in that direction, but we can see it already makes a difference.
Now, I did a video. I might have to do, y'all want me to do a replay of the video where you had ex-FBI agent Ted Gunderson and ex-CIA agent Chip Tatum pointing a finger at Bill Clinton for trafficking drugs. I might have to do a replay about that. There's a whole bunch of moving parts. Soon as we come off of them plantations working for free, we became criminals. Okay? Y'all bear with me.
Because if we have more police interacting with people, having them on the streets, we can prevent.
Now, yeah, Arkansas, yeah. Now, when has the police not been genociding us? Give me a time since the existence of the slave patrol that they've not been genociding black folk. Give me a time. Give me a time. Give me a year, date. Give me a time period where the police has not been genociding black folk. Okay? All right. Let me see here. She talking about policing, and it's a good thing. And,
Policing. We have actually been making progress on this count as a nation because of what local law enforcement officials are doing, because of what citizens and neighborhood patrols are doing. We're making some progress. Much of it is related to the initiative called community policing, because we have.
Okay, community policing. What? That means the community should have some say-so in the policing, right? What happened to it? Yeah, I think I'm going to replay that video. It's called The Race War on Drugs. Yeah, I think I'm going to do yeah.
Have finally gotten more police officers on the street. That was one of the goals that the president had when he put.
Now, family, let me look at y'all. Family, Is black folks the only one committing crimes out here? Huh? If we the only one breaking the law? Are we the only one breaking the law? I got some stuff. I got the ducks in a row. And they know. That's why they don't want the truth told. Okay? But yeah, yeah, it's kind of, yeah. Yeah, it's a joke, but y'all know what it is. All right. Let me see here.
The crime bill that was passed in 1994. He promised 100,000 police. We're moving in that direction. But
this is when they began to militarize the police under these Democrats. See, that's why I said, matter of fact, I might well just put me a little peekaboo window up here somewhere. Let me see. That's why I said, if Trump in there, Negroes they're gonna be on high alert. You ain't gotta tell black folk they got to keep their eyes open. But if you put them Democrats in there, Negroes gonna go to sleep. That's why I said that. Not because I care. Now one of them don't like you. But one of them, one of them, Shabbat Shalom, one of them, you got to watch. We sitting here looking at a king cobra and a spitting cobra. And we trying to figure out which one is our friend. Both of them is venomous. Now one of them like you. But let me get on back over here. Hold on. All right, hold on.
we can see it already makes a difference, because if we have more police interacting with people, having them on the streets, we can prevent crimes. We can prevent petty crimes from turning into something.
Has that happened? Has that happened? So they put more police on the streets. Did that prevent crime? That's not the goal. The goal is not to prevent crime. The goal, this is the goal. Private prison, stock markets, slave labor. Let me get back over here on this. Okay?
Something worse. But we also have.
Now, in a minute, I'm going to get on this white on white crime. Why you don't hear about that? Why you don't hear about white on white crime? Huh? It's propaganda, family. It goes all the way back to the plantation. They go all the way back.
To have an organized effort against gangs, just as in a previous generation we had an organized effort against the mob. We need to take these people on. They are often connected to big drug cartels.
Now, what black person you know was connected to a drug cartel? She said, our children is connected to drug cartel. See? No, if that was the case, they would be affording lawyers and not going to prison. Okay?
They are often connected to big drug cartels. They are not just gangs of kids anymore. They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators. No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about why they ended up that way, but first we have to bring them to heel. And the president...
I would say the same about their children. They the one who run around here mass shooting, mass murdering. As a matter of fact, I know this is a movie from back in the 90s. Let's play this clip. Yeah, they describe it. Yeah, she's projecting, describing themselves. Y'all listen to this. This is a movie, but the facts are the facts. Okay?
Screams of the victim deaden his pain. The act of killing makes him feel intensely alive. What he feels next is not guilt, but disappointment. It was not as wonderful as he'd hoped. Maybe next time, it will be perfect. And as his determination builds to take another life, he plans in obsessive detail what props he'll bring, what knots he'll tie. Let me ask you guys something. What turns you on? I mean, what really does it for you? Is it a great body? Is it a nice smile? Is it beautiful legs? Well, what turns on a serial killer is the suffering and death of another human being.
Did she just describe white folks? Huh? Did she just describe a majority of white folks? You said, why you said a majority of white folks? Okay. Okay. These folks used to gather around. Look at all these folks. They used to gather around to watch our pain and suffering. Huh? Right after church. And next weekend or next few days, they have another one. Mass serial killers. Let me wind it back.
Knots he'll tie. Let me ask you guys something. What turns you on? I mean, what really does it for you? Is it a great body? Is it a nice smile? Is it beautiful legs? Well, what turns on a serial killer is the suffering and death of another human being.
Oh, is that the colonizers? Huh? Is that the colonizers? They went all over the earth just killing folks? Huh? Dehumanizing folk, calling them savages? Is that why they couldn't stop killing folks? Going from lands to land, slaying? What about King Leopold in the Congo? Huh? But anyway, one more time.
Nice smile. Is it beautiful legs? Well, what turns on a serial killer is the suffering and death of another human being. Now, I'd like to ask you guys a favor. If you could all please stand up. All the gentlemen in the room, please indulge me for a second. Come on, it's only fair after all the time you spent ogling us. Now, would everybody under 20 and over 35 have a seat? And if you're of Asian or African American descent, you may sit down. Now, Kenny, can you turn that light on for us, please, so we can get a good look at these guys? All right, ladies, what do you see? Some pretty cute guys, don't you think? I mean, if one of these fellas asked you out for a drink, you'd go, wouldn't you? Well, let me tell you something. 9 out of 10 serial killers are white males, aged 20 to 35, just like these. Albert DeSalvo, Bianchi and Buono, Berkowitz, Dahmer, Ted Bundy. They were quiet, unassuming, even nice. They held down jobs. They made decent neighbors. Their victims trusted them. The FBI estimates that there could be as many as 35 serial killers cruising for victims even as I speak. All right, guys, you better sit down. You're scaring me.
All right, fair use up in this piece. Hey, while they pointing the fingers at us, see, if you point the finger at us, you're not looking at them. See, only difference is they control the media. They put the stuff in the papers. They condition you with repetition. Negroes bad. Them Negroes is out of control. All they do is kill, kill, kill. But if you go to talking about the true history, and then that becomes a problem. It's all right to point the finger at us. See, put our life in danger to dehumanize us. It's all right to do that. See, well, you go to point the finger at them, you got a problem. But see, we telling the truth. But anyway, let me get back on. Let me get on track here. Let me make short work of this. Mike going live about 7 o'clock. All right, now, let me make short work of this. The phrase black crime is misleading, but research shows black Americans are disproportionately arrested and incarcerated. All right, which is linked to systemic issues like poverty, educational equality. How can you call black folks low IQ when you are in charge of the education system? How am I responsible for some Negroes in another city somewhere committing crime when I don't know them? Number two, you got government in position for the crime. That's what the police is supposed to be for. You got what they call them? You got government official. You got the mayor. You got what they call them? Yeah, they got all these government officials that's elected that's supposed to protect the city, but somehow it's all black folks is responsible for what's going on in places like Chicago. So if we responsible, then y'all don't need to get no check. How come these police departments, these so-called detectives, aren't getting fired for not solving these crimes? Usually, if a person can't do their job, they get replaced. Ain't that how that works? If I don't do my job, I'm gone. So the police is supposed to, that's what they're supposed to do. But we know they are there to boost up crime. They're there to keep it going. They are there to commit crimes. All right, let me keep going. And segregation rather than inherent criminality. All right. While homicide rates among black individuals are higher, and for the slow folks, I'm not saying if you don't commit a crime, you shouldn't be punished. That's unbiblical. That ain't what I'm saying. But what you ain't gonna do is sit here and keep lying on black folk like we the most violent group of people that the Most High created. That's what you ain't gonna do. The Most High hates imbalanced scales. Y'all claim justice. That means the scale's supposed to be balanced, right? I'm just bringing balance. Y'all telling lies. I'm going to balance the scales out with facts on top of facts on top of facts that break non-believers' backs. Okay? There you go. Some scales. Let me give you a Bible verse. Let me see here. Let me see here. I think it's in Proverbs. Yep, Proverbs 11:1. Let me see here. All right. Yahweh detests, Yahweh hates dishonest scales, but accurate weights find favor with him. So when you tell the truth and balance out the scale, people can really see what they're looking at. The devil got a problem because the lie no longer works. He loses a grip on your mind. Okay? He can't get you to co-sign the shedding of innocent blood. All right, let's get back over here. Let me see here. Yeah, they claim they got justice. All right, now, while homicide rates among black individuals are higher, it's often intra-racial violence driven by similar factors, not a unique phenomenon. I would even protest that our homicide rate is higher than anybody else. I detest that. See, a lot of their stuff, I've been watching videos, they get caught shoplifting, they don't even go to jail. So how you gonna do that per capita criminality when y'all ain't even going to jail? And then they got all kind of rigged system. They got all kind of imbalanced scales going on. They got all kind of stuff going on. See, they I watch a video, white women getting caught shoplifting. They just take the stuff and they don't go to jail. See, that's how you cook the books. They ain't going to jail. Crime being committed, but they're not calling the police. And then they got misdemeanor. They give them misdemeanor charges. They give us the felonies. Okay? Y'all look at it yourself. And if I say anything wrong, point it out and put the facts right there. Don't say it's wrong and don't put no facts right there, okay? All right. Now, Black Americans are arrested and incarcerated at significantly higher rates than white. Yeah, we know. Incarcerated more than 5 times the rate of whites. They say we are a smaller population, but we're going to jail 5 times the rate of white folks. But you said, maybe y'all commit more crime. Okay, let me keep going. Let me see here. Let me go right. Let me keep going. Okay, yeah, I'm going to come back to this. Now, y'all can look at these shows right here and see who committing all the murders. Y'all, you can look at this show right here. Yeah, you got some black folks in there. And yeah, the ones that's in there did some atrocious things. And they need to put them under the jail. But overwhelmingly, it's white folks. How is we doing all this killing, but we ain't on these shows like y'all? The math ain't mathing. Huh? In this show, same thing. The perpetrators are overwhelmingly white. Yeah, you got Negroes in there, and the ones that's in there did some vile things. See, oh, I'm so scared. I fear for my life. But y'all, when I mean y'all, you racist white supremacist devils, got a track record and a history that you're trying to outrun for stealing, killing, and destroying. Historically, on a global level. We can never catch up to the thuggery. We can never catch up. This is why black folks they go after us more. Somebody got to do that slave labor, see. Somebody got to be in there getting that slave labor going. See. Now this come out in 2013. Let me see, can I get that picture in clear? It come out in 2013. I saw the date somewhere. There it is. September 26, 2013. Why you got prisons on the stock market? See, y'all see the rigged system. Why you got prisons on the stock market? How you going to call it the Department of Corrections when you got high turnout people coming back, high recidivism rate? What are y'all correcting? See, this whole system is a lie. All right, now, most of the private prison contracts in America require states keep at least 90% of prison beds filled or pay a penalty for private non-profit prisons. Why is they going to sign a contract saying with these private prisons that's on the stock market, saying that they're going to keep 90% of the prisons full? Huh? Why would they sign a contract like that? And don't forget, the black man is the most exonerated man in this country. You know why? Because they lock us up with no evidence. See, they don't do investigation. Think about it. Think about it, family. Think about it, family. When somebody call the police, say somebody call the police on me, they supposed to do an investigation. They don't supposed to just come to me and put handcuffs on me because somebody white called them. There's supposed to be an investigation to be had. They don't do no investigation. They don't take no statements. They just come lock a Negro up and put him in the car. We ain't got no money for no defense. So what a lot of us end up doing, they said, well, this charge carried 20 years. You can take this plea and you can get out in 3. Okay? You can't tell me no difference because I done lived it. Can't tell me. Because I done been in there. I done been in there. All right. Can't tell me that. Now, if I hadn't been in there, you know, it'd be different. But I know I had a possession charge. Possession charge. Yeah, I had a possession charge. You know, something in my possession. I had a possession charge, but when they got me, I had nothing in my possession. 16 years. Possession, guys in there said possession is 9/10 of the law. They didn't fingerprint nothing. They ain't got they did nothing. But nevertheless, all right. Let me share this. All right, let me see here. All right, I might as well just keep my face up there, I guess. Let me see here. Let me do it like this. All right, I do it like that. All right, now, y'all see that? Private prison. Look, this is 2025, and local jails are expanding. You said, well, it's ICE. Okay. Yeah. Why not just send them home? Why are you building? See that why are you building prisons if your goal is to send them home? Why you got to build all these prisons if your goal is to send them home? Think about it. They're not going to be there that long, right? You supposed to be getting them to their homeland. So why are you building prisons? You're going to spend money on a temporary building. They probably going to build a building and put homeless folks in there next. See. But anyway, let me keep going. All right. Now, let me go back a little bit before I get back to this. Using the media. See, we didn't have a voice. Whatever they media said, that's what we did. Now, while I'm talking, how is it you got an all-white jury? Think about it. All-white juries. Let me just type in all-white jury and see what comes up today. Let me see what. They should be illegal. This ain't an all-white country. The people that's got a historical record of doing the most atrocious thing on the earth go get together in the courtroom and convict you for crime. Let's see what this says. An all-white jury is a sworn body composed of only white people convened to render an impartial verdict. The very fact that you got an all-white jury tells you all you need to know. If they how is they impartial and to justice gonna give you a fair shake, and they got an uncanny ability not to choose no black folk. But anyway, see, how come you don't see all black juries? Think, family. Why you don't see all black? Let me type in all black jury and see what I get. Let me see. I might be wrong. Yeah, we down the rabbit hole. What time is it? Okay, ain't been going 30 minutes. Let me see. I don't even see all black jury. Oh, OJ had all black jury. No. I don't think OJ, no, they were two races in California. But anyway, no, they ain't had no, look. How come you ain't got if the scales balance, huh? Oh, OJ had an all black jury. I didn't know that. Oh, mostly. That ain't all black. I mean, mostly. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah. You ain't got no all black jury, but you got an all white jury. See, and you wonder what about black on black crime? What about it? Let me keep going. Let me go back a little bit. Okay. I went over black crime. Black on black crime meaning refers to violent acts committed by a black person against another black person. Yes, but there's also violent acts of a white person against other white people. That's why you got shows like this that feature them. Like FBI Files. That's why you got shows like Forensic Files. Who's doing all the killing. But you ain't got no white on white crime. You see the propaganda. Huh? And then you'll find black folks sitting there going along justifying a black man getting shot in the back, running away. That's why somebody got to get out here and balance these scales, you know. I have an idea. I mean, I've lived it, and I don't like it. So, hey. All right, now, white on white crimes refer to criminal acts committed by white people against other white people. While the phrase describes a real phenomenon, the term itself is not commonly used. You know why? Because they don't want that stigma that we get when they use black on black crime. They don't want that. They don't want that pointed at them. Point that mess at the Negroes. Point that over there. Don't point that on white folk. That's why you don't hear that term. So if that's not really a term, then guess what, family? Black on black crime ain't a term either. It's just crime. It's lawlessness. It's breaking of the commandments. Okay? Y'all see how that work? Where's the Asian on Asian crime? They kill each other. The Latino on Latino crime. But we the one got a crime. We got a crime reserved just for us. While they pipeline us into the prison system. Let's get to this convict leasing. Let's get on this convict leasing right here. Now, y'all follow me. Immediately, how long did it say, family? Immediately, how long did it take them to start criminalizing black folks? Immediately. Following slavery, a system of laws and practices arose to criminalize black folk. All right? Restrict their freedoms and forcibly recreate a cheap labor force. Oh, yeah, how befitting is this? I didn't have this in mind when I put this together. I started on this, taking notes a couple of days ago. Monday is so-called Slaver Day. That's right, Kaya. The Most High gonna be an all-black jury. Yes. Now, yeah, Slaver Day. This right here is befitting on Slaver Day. Slavery and labor. Slaver Day. All right. This systemic criminalization, a whole system to criminalize black folk because we are prisoners of war. Some black folk is waiting until they hear the bombs bursting in the air. Some black folks is waiting as the bullet zooming by the head. Some black folks is waiting, oh, we trying to kill you Negroes, so you might want to defend yourself. But hey, I'm here to tell you, you've been in the war since you've been here. Okay? This systemic criminalization has continued to evolve. In other words, they're changing the game, but it's going to have the same outcome: slavery, and the central driver of mass incarceration in the United States today. Black codes and convict leasing. So you're going to manufacture, you're going to create crime. They created crime out of thin air. Do y'all understand how they created crime out of thin air? I want y'all to think. A one in the chat if you know how they created crime out of thin air. You know how they created crime out of thin air? I know it's a little bit delayed. Here it is right here. There wasn't nothing illegal until they made it illegal. Oh, you Negroes is hanging out. Vagrancy. You got to go to jail now. Since you in jail, we gonna lease your body out to somebody else so they can get some slave labor. Some people say that they call that I'm white and I say so. But anyway, vagrancy law. Look. Vagrancy law. Criminalize being unemployed. Are they going to bring back vagrancy for the homeless? I don't know. Why build brand new prisons for so-called illegals if you get them out the country? That don't make sense. Tent, you can build tents for that. You know, erect a tent, military style. You build a tent for that. That way, when your work is done, you take the tent down and close shop. I don't know. Look, criminalize being unemployed. Now, factor this in today's time. You had all these illegals over here. They paying them the minimum wages. You know, they make like a few dollars a day where they come from. And they think they done hit the jackpot when they get here. See? So you got millions of illegals over here working for low wages, keeping the wages down, right? Increasing the unemployment. Then the cost of living going up so high, you got the elderly, they can't afford to retire. Increasing unemployment. Meanwhile, I'm gonna build, they gonna build some more prisons for the situation they created. The Most High gonna tear their tail up, and I ain't gonna feel sorry for them. I saw a video, I don't know if it's true. Bill Clinton looked like he had a defibrillator on, looked like he about to kick the bucket. I don't feel nothing for him. When the Most High get ready for him to go, Bill Clinton and everybody else gone. When he get ready for me, I'm going to be gone. I don't feel sorry for a person that waged jihad on my people. Let me keep going. Labor contracts. I don't know. Clarify your question. I don't know what you mean by what's unemployment to them. To the rich folks, it ain't nothing to them because they ain't got to work. Require black folks to enter into yearly labor contract. Gonna make you, how you free when they make a law to get you to work for free for slave wages? How come they didn't require white folks to get out there on that farm? Huh? Why it just got to be us? How is you free when all they got to do is Well, the Bible said we weren't going to be free till the Messiah come back and kill them. See. Should I say destroy? All of them ain't gonna. I assume some of them gonna get right. I assume, but if they don't, I'm not gonna. But anyway, I don't feel sorry for them. All right, for black children, particularly orphans, are those whose parents were deemed unfit. Who deemed them unfit? The same people that's been discriminating against us since we've been here. That's who deemed them unfit. How convenient. How convenient. Into unpaid labor for white employers, sometimes they are former owners. That's convict leasing. The 13th Amendment outlaws slavery. Here's the loophole. Except as punishment for a crime. So you create a crime. Create a crime. You get your slaves back. Create a crime out of thin air. All right? Creating a system known as slavery by another name. Convict lease. And the convicts died way more often than on the plantation. But that just goes through a lot of it. See, war on drugs. Bill Clinton and George Bush, Ronald Reagan. Here you go right here. Creating the crime. That's the video I was talking about I done on this. See. But here you can dig into this. You can type this in yourself. After slavery, criminalization of black folks. If that don't work, there you go. They're just some pictures. These are children right here. Folks got some nerve wagging their finger talking about some human violation rights and stuff. All right. And this is the criminalization of black folks using media. Look how far back this goes. Some of y'all think this is a new thing with the age of tail lies vision. But look right here. Following the Civil War. That's back in the 1800s. Y'all see how far back this stuff goes? Huh? Media played a critical role in criminalizing black Americans by promoting racist caricatures. They're doing the same thing. They'll look into the black person's background, but won't look into the white person's background. All right. Sensationalizing crime stories and amplified propaganda that justify discrimination, violence, and discriminatory laws like the Black Codes and Jim Crow. Okay. I'm just going slow. And they're still doing the same thing today. Let me see what kind of images they got. Newspaper, postcards, D.W. Griffin, Birth of a Nation, a movie, lying on black folk. See, it goes way back. I just showed you how far back it went. All the way back after the Civil War, the 1800s. Passing out white supremacist flyers. The KKK, 1865. 1865, they so-called did away with slavery, which is a lie. 1865, the birth of the KKK. I'm just walking this down. I'm bringing it to a close. Now, how many of y'all heard of drapetomania? You can read it right there. They thought something was wrong with us because we want to be free. This is the Most High said this was going to be a foolish nation. The Most High said we was going to serve under a foolish nation. How foolish can you be to think something's wrong with me because I want to be free? The insane patience is running the asylum. Drapetomania was a pseudo-scientific diagnosis. This is white folks saying something is wrong with us. White folks creating laws saying that we got to work for them. White folks creating laws to get slave labor. All right. All right. Samuel Adolphus Cartwright in 1851 claiming a psychological disorder caused enslaved people to run away from bondage. Now we got common sense. Y'all said something, we slow. That's what you said. But I actually said we are highly intelligent. That's what you said. All right. The disease was a product of the racist views of the time, which promoted slavery as the natural state for black folks. Okay. If slavery was the natural state of black folks, then the Most High would created us. We'd just been slaves. See, what happened is we are the nation of Israel, and every time we got to falling behind the other nations, we went into captivity. Every time. Think about it. If the nation of Israel is white folks, they got them recessive genes. They'd have been black by now. Okay. If the nation of Israel is white people, then why are they afraid of genetic annihilation? Huh? Didn't the Most High say Abraham's descendants was going to be as numerous as the sand on the seashore and the stars in the heaven? Huh? Didn't the Most High say that? Huh? Let me keep going. Let me bring this to a close. Okay, I showed that. And here you go. There go more media. 3,000 will burn Negro. See, I'm gonna go back on my way out. Okay, yeah, I got a video. Hold on. Now, let's get to this. Let's get to the real criminals. Let's get to the real criminals, all right? This happened this year, family. Okay, this happened this year. See, did y'all hear about this? Well, it was updated. It was updated. FBI discovered cache of guns, armor, Nazi paraphernalia. How come they're not getting together talking about the super predators enacting harsh penalties for these white males and females? You got some female Nazis too. But let me video play. These folks broke into a military installation. Oh, you can't hear? All right. Hold on. You can't hear. Let me see. Let me try it now. These folks broke into a military installation. Okay. I was showing you that they updated it, but they updated it this year. But I heard about this recently.
We're revealing more information about the two suspects arrested after a weapons bust in Lacey, where 35 illegal firearms, grenade launchers, explosives, and Nazi paraphernalia were seized inside their home. We're learning they allegedly broke into JBLM and are accused of violently assaulting a soldier and attempting to steal military weapons and equipment.
Did y'all hear about this? Huh? Did y'all hear about this?
Almost Karina Vargas has the latest on their background.
Court documents revealed that both suspects were able to break in and get access to JBLM because of their military veteran status. Once inside, documents say both suspects were attempting to steal body armor, helmets, and military equipment when they were confronted by a soldier and a fight broke out. One of the suspects allegedly hit the soldier in the head with a hammer, and at one
I see that white nationalist. How come they're not
point, they hit
criminalized?
the soldier in the head with a hammer.
Huh? They got a history. You know, the white nationalists done broke into the military compound to steal. But yet, police in Ohio will escort white nationalists in the in the black folks' neighborhood. See, if you look at black folks as the criminals, the white folks go unnoticed, right under the nose.
One of the suspects allegedly hit the soldier in the head with a hammer, and at one point the soldier reported that one of the suspects pulled a knife on them, which ended with the suspects fleeing. Documents say that one of the suspects dropped a hat with their name on it. Army CID agents were able to identify both suspects through video gate entrance records. Thurston County deputies assisted Army investigators with a search warrant at their home in Lacey that led to the discovery of 35 guns, a grenade launcher, explosives, and body armor, along with Nazi paraphernalia. Now, the suspects are booked on local gun charges and are facing federal charges of robbery, assault, and theft of government property. Now, a judge did find a probable cause right now. They're being held at the Thurston County Jail on a...
Y'all know what's missing? Where's the computer forensics? Where they track their online activity? Huh? Where's the other arrest at? You know how can you be a white nationalist and you ain't tracking down the RICO charges? Huh? See, y'all ain't catch that, did you? Where is the computer forensics and the other arrests? The network.
$500,000 bail each. But for now, reporting in Lacey, Karina Vargas, KOMO News.
Okay.
I made a lot of gains saving tackles.
Okay. He said he made some gains saving tackles. Okay. Let me see. What is this? Okay. Sister Brenda, your internet all right? You got kicked out, huh? Trying to go past this ad. Okay.
Members of two white supremacists.
Now, this is in Florida, y'all. I'm just showing you there is a track record. White supremacists getting explosive and military-grade weapons. This happened in Florida. They call them gangs. I'm just showing you. Okay?
Nearly 40 members of two white supremacist gangs in Florida were arrested as a result of a massive drug trafficking sting, authorities announced this week. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Middle District of Florida announced Thursday that
authorities find rocket launchers. Where you get a rocket launcher from? You must know them guys in the previous video that broke into that military installation. You must know them guys. Yeah, you must know them guys. See?
39 members of the Unforgiven and United.
See, these are Nazis also. So you had Nazis break into, this is recent. This is old. So you had Nazis in the previous video break into a military installation, and you got some more Nazis in Florida with rocket launchers. But hey, they're not creating no laws to stop this stuff. Where is they getting together criminalizing this? Black folks standing on the corner, vagrancy. Now you got to go back to Master's Plantation because we're gonna lease you out.
Aryan Brotherhood gangs were charged with federal firearms and drug violations. Authorities seized more than 100 illegal firearms, a rocket launcher, and several pipe bombs as part of the raid. Local ABC affiliate WFTS Tampa Bay reported. Authorities also reportedly found several pounds of crystal meth and fentanyl.
Y'all remember this, the church bombing, the Klan, they're still around. Yet the Klan they can run for political office and get elected. But they got a thorough history of mass murder. That tells you a lot about this country. The Klan. Y'all know the four black girls they killed right here. 1963. Now, this was the life expectancy of the convict lease. The life expectancy for lease convicts, this is right after slavery, lower than that of the general population, with death rate among lease convicts being approximately 10 times higher. Some would argue they was better off in slavery because all they had to do was they work you to death and go get some more. See? But then we'd be still in, but anyway, we got through it. 10 times higher than those in non-lease states. All right, but y'all, I just want y'all to show y'all that. All right, family. Now, I'm gonna play this on the way out, and I'm gonna end it. The serial killer. All right, fair use. Let me put this up here. Fair use up in here. Let me just put it up here since I got it. I'm gonna play this, and then I'm gonna be out. That's right. They have to start locking them up with their hate crime bill.
Pain. The act of killing makes him feel intensely alive. What he feels next is...
I want you to not just put this on one individual. They call him a lone wolf. Now think about this, family. All of them is in on it. Most of them. I would say 98% of them is in on it. How you gonna be a lone wolf when they got you, when you is online communicating with like-minded folks? See, when like, just like they just killed, what's the guy that just killed somebody in Minnesota? They started talking about some mental health issues. Okay, well, what about Jordan Neely, whom Daniel Penny choked? He had a record. He had a documented medical history of having mental health issues, but they don't go for black folks. They're just for white men or white people. That's right. We had a hate crime bill. They going to jail. But anyway,
not guilt, but disappointment. It was not as wonderful as he'd hoped. Maybe next time it will be perfect. And as his determination builds to take another life, he plans in obsessive detail what props he'll bring, what knots he'll tie. Let me ask you guys.
We plan on surviving. They plan on killing. Think about that, family. We plan on what bills we gonna pay and what food we gonna get. We just out here trying to, we plan on how we gonna get better for the Most High. These folks are planning on letting Satan. How they gonna kill somebody?
Something. What turns you on? I mean, what really does it for you? Is it a great body? Is it a nice smile? Is it beautiful legs? Well, what turns on a serial killer is the suffering and death of another human being. Now, I'd like to ask you guys a favor. If you could all please stand up. All the gentlemen in the room, please indulge me for a second.
Now, don't forget, she said, what turns on a serial killer? I would say serial killers is the suffering and death. It used to be thousands of them gathered around a black man hanging on a tree, black woman hanging on a tree, thousands. And then on top of that, they would get postcards and send them to people they knew. That's why you got them on the internet. They was making money while they was killing us. They was getting off on our death. But all of a sudden, we expect these folks to come to Jesus and have a heart. This is the nature of the beast.
favor? If you could all please stand up. All the gentlemen, serial killers, the suffering and death. Is it a great body? Is it a nice smile? Is it beautiful legs? Well, what turns on a serial killer is the suffering and death of another human being. Now, I'd like to ask you guys a favor. If you could all please stand up. All the gentlemen in the room, please indulge me for a second. Come on, it's only fair after all the time you spent ogling us. Now, would everybody under 20 and over 35 have a seat? And if you're of Asian or African American descent, you may sit down. Now, Kenny, can you turn that light on for us, please, so we can get a good look at these guys? All right, ladies, what do you see? Some pretty cute guys, don't you think? I mean, if one of these fellas asked you out for a drink, you'd go, wouldn't you? Well, let me tell you something. 9 out of 10 serial killers are white males, aged 20 to 35, just like these.
9 out of 10 serial killers. 9 out of 10 serial killers. What about white on white crime? That's why you got this on these shows. That's why they are the stars of cold case files, forensic files. That's why they the stars. Look at how they go all over the earth, killing folks. No mercy, wiped out whole bloodlines.
Oh, wouldn't you? Well, let me tell you something. 9 out of 10 serial killers are white males, aged 20 to 35, just like these. Albert DeSalvo, Bianchi and Buono, Berkowitz, Dahmer, Ted Bundy. They were quiet, unassuming, even nice. They held down jobs. They made decent neighbors. Their victims trusted them. The FBI estimates that there could be as many as 35 serial killers cruising for victims even as I speak. All right, guys, you better sit down. You're scaring me.
All right, family. The reason, oh yeah, Brenda Hill. The reason why I didn't play Holy, I started shortening my videos. I took them, that other music off. I saw your comment after I had mashed the stop button. Yeah, okay. Yeah, y'all get y'all some of these. I've been doing a little upgrade lately. Get y'all some of these. Huh? Get you some. Not one. Get you some. Okay? Get you some. It won't hurt to get some hard wired ones. So if the internet go down, you just get you some. Whatever, just get you some. Okay? All right, family. Shalom. Love y'all.